Hi, Mark. Thank you very much. Now we get to a story of survival. It started with a woman trapped in her SUV, water rushing in after she drove into a creek. Norton police officers raced to her rescue, but then they needed to be rescued. It was all caught on body camera. Only on News 5, Bob Jones speaks with the woman who was saved and her heroes.
Diane Key, a grandmother of 7, a retired teacher and principal, knows the lesson of not taking life for granted. And she's thankful to several first responders who made sure she lived to see 2025.
I experienced such competent, supportive, wonderful people that helped me through the scariest night of my life.
Around 8 p.m. Sunday, Diane lost control on a rainy and windy night, drove off Summit Road in Norton and into Wolf Creek. She was able to call 911. A dispatcher kept her calm.
Never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be going through a situation like I did that Sunday night.
It's deep, guys.
A body camera on Sergeant Sean Connor is recording as he enters the frigid creek. He was first on the scene and waded towards the partially submerged Red Ford edge.
The only thing we could see was a little bit of her headlights and the hood flipped over.
The strong current had pushed the vehicle under a bridge and 30 to 50 yards downstream before becoming wedged against a tree in the creek.
She's awake and breathing.
The officer used a pry bar to open a back door and then pulled Diane out of the SUV.
Now listen, there's a little bit of a current, so I'm gonna need you to hold on to me.
He said, "You hold on to me and I'm gonna hold on to you," and because I couldn't get my feet down, the water was rushing so badly.
By that time, a second officer waded into the creek to help, but they realized the rush of the waters was too much for them to get out on their own. So it's dark, there's a strong current, you're fighting the elements, and you're trapped.
Yeah, once we got her out, we thought we were gonna be okay, and then halfway across, it got pretty deep and the current was pretty strong.
But then Norton firefighters came to the rescue. Shane Smith went into the creek with ropes, and other firefighters pulled all of them to the embankment.
I basically just beladed around myself, got to them, basically just gave them a big hug, and told them I'm just going to tie it around all three and we're going to drag you out.
Lieutenant Adam Rapp, who coordinated the rescue, says the teamwork to save a life was remarkable.
We are blessed that it turned out the way that it did. We have an excellent staff, great members, the community.
And Diane thinks someone else was watching over her. You see, just one day before the accident, she buried her mother.
And I come out so lucky. Mom and God must have been there with me that night.
After being treated for hypothermia, Diane is doing okay and keeps counting her blessings.
Yep, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
There's so many good people in the police department that I've got to think they help people like me every day.
Diane thanked her heroes, those first responders, in person on New Year's Day, giving them big hugs and some gifts. In Norton, Bob Jones, News 5.
My goodness, what a story. Golly.